Oh, I have some exciting news to share with you guys this morning. I find myself counting down the days to August 1st. I cannot wait. I remember when I was in high school and college. I used to live for the weekends back then. It took me almost 6 years to graduate from college. I hated school. I looked at class as an inconvenience, but I stayed in college for so long because I loved the lifestyle. Besides making sure that I made C's or above, I didn't have any responsibilities. I lived for Thursday through Sunday, which were the party nights every week. Eventually, my dad got sick and tired of paying for my tuition. He approached me going into my 5th year and said, "You got 2 semesters to graduate. After that, you're paying tuition yourself." And needless to say, I buckled down and graduated. But I can remember back in those days, we would all be so excited for the next party. The nights were wild, they were unpredictable. You never knew what was going to happen. You could wake up the next morning on the floor, on the couch. You could wake up in jail. Hell, you could wake up in another state. You just never knew where the night was going to take you. Now, I could never live that lifestyle at 37 years old, but when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I didn't want to live any other way. The excitement was addictive. It was almost a drug in itself. Yesterday, I got a little taste of that excitement. It's been 15 or so years since I felt the excitement that I felt yesterday. This announcement was huge. It interrupted the community circle jerk on Twitter. Virgins across America temporarily put down their hand lotion. Cucumbers dropped to the floor. Everyone was staring at their phones in amazement. The grand return. He is back. Our Lord and Savior has come to rescue us from logic and reason. After being rejected from every major network, podcasting platform, and mainstream media outlet, America's favorite virgin has finally found a home. He has finally found a place where he can spew his hatred and propaganda. Starting August 1st, Keith Olbermann will launch his brand new podcast on iHeartMedia. Oh, it's gonna be legendary. He's gonna talk politics. He's gonna talk sports. He will have specials about proper cucumber insertion. He will have segments about Fauci fucking, going into graphic detail about his and Fauci's love life. When they made the announcement, they included the phrase, "back by popular demand." What? Back by popular demand? Are you out of your fucking mind? There are 330 million people living in America? I can't name one who likes Keith Olbermann. This guy does not need a platform. He doesn't need a microphone. He needs a muzzle. What the hell's going on at iHeartMedia? What executive woke up one morning and thought, "I know how to drive listeners to our platform. We should hire Keith Olbermann and make him exclusive to our platform"? Whoever thought of this idea, they should be fired. A while back, I said Spotify giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to Jamel Hill was the worst deal in media. That is no longer the case. I'm not sure of the terms of this deal, but if iHeartMedia gave Keith Olbermann 1 peso, this is the worst deal in media. For the last decade, Keith Olbermann has done nothing but fail. Fired from MSNBC, fired from Current TV. A year or two ago, he started a YouTube channel. He quickly gave up because he couldn't find anyone to sponsor the show. Just think about that for a second. This shitfuck is too radical for 2 of the wokest networks on cable. Thankfully, Current TV no longer exists. The network was started by Al Gore as a promotion tool to fight mythical global warming. Al Gore. What a fucking loser that guy is. You want to talk about American exceptionalism? Al Gore's a prime example. Name another country in the world where you can make hundreds of millions of dollars by promoting a myth. But even Al Gore couldn't put up with Keith Olbermann. He fired the piece of shit because he refused to show up to work. And when he did show up, he was a cancer in the office. He verbally attacked his co-workers. He attacked executives at the network. He returned to ESPN, where he once again proved to be a fungus. He constantly used the platform to engage in political commentary, which back then, ESPN didn't want to be associated with politics. Now, today, You can't turn on ESPN without hearing about mythical racism and abortion. I am never a proponent of silencing anyone. I think everyone should have the right to speak freely, but Keith Olbermann, this guy does not deserve a platform. Several years ago, he urged his fellow virgins on Twitter to harass a 22-year-old kid in Mississippi. Why? Because the kid was a turkey hunter. He told the Butt Brigade to make this kid's life a living hell. He basically threatened the kid, put a woke hit on his life. Now, a woke hit, it's a bit different than a mafia hit. The mafia puts a hit on you, you'll be pushing up daisies soon. Woke hit's a little bit different. It's similar to the woke mating call. They announce the hit, lonely men are released from their cellar, and they attempt to spank you with cucumbers. All you got to do is put up a little bit of resistance and they run away like the scared pussies they are. Keith Olbermann has consistently proven that he can't get along with people, can't get along with anyone. So maybe this deal with iHeartMedia will be a good thing. They could set up a studio in his dungeon and no one else has to be around him. Starting August 1st, we will be graced with the stench of Keith Olbermann on a daily basis. iHeartMedia didn't want to make this a weekly show. No. Getting a dose of Keithy once a week, that's not enough. Virgins on Twitter, they need woke boners every day. Let me give you a little glimpse of what you can expect from this new show. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the musings of a maniac. Roll the film.
Time to stop coddling the people who won't get the shot. Booster shot. Mission accomplished. And it is. It is time to stop coddling them, the ones who won't get the damn shot already. And our first step, you and I, is symbols, the language we use. We call these people vaccine hesitant, vaccine skeptics, anti-vax. We say they're protesting mandates and passports. They're making a personal choice. They're waiting for more information. They're making a medical decision. Bullshit! They're afraid. They're afraid to get vaccinated. Stop feeding their egos about what they're doing. Stop legitimizing it. Vaccine hesitant, they're afraid. Vaccine skeptics, they're afraid. Anti-vax, they're afraid. They're protesting mandates and passports. They're afraid. Trump can be and must be expunged. The hate he has triggered, the Pandora's box he has opened, they will not be so easily destroyed. So, let us brace ourselves. The task is twofold. The terrorist Trump must be defeated, must be destroyed, must be devoured at the ballot box. And then he and his enablers and his supporters and his collaborators and the Mike Lees and the William Barrs and the Sean Hannitys and the Mike Pences and the Rudy Giulianis and the Kyle Rittenhouses and the Amy Coney Barretts must be prosecuted and convicted and removed from our society while we try to rebuild it.
Let me ask you something. And look. Those were just a couple of clips. I could sit here for the next hour and show you how out of his fucking mind this guy really is. But seriously, does that sound like a man who has the ability to think logically? Joy Reid is an evil shitfuck, but at least she presents herself pretending to be somewhat rational. Keith Olbermann is insane. This dude belongs in a rubber room confined to a straitjacket. He has no business being behind a microphone or living amongst civilized people. He said Donald Trump needs to be expunged. Now, if someone were to say something like that to a butt bongo participant, they call it a threat on their life. Keith Olbermann says it about Donald Trump. Not one mainstream media outlet pays any attention. Which brings me to my next point, most important point. This is why I don't understand this deal by iHeartMedia. No one pays attention to Keith Olbermann. No one gives a fuck what this organism that identifies as a man has to say. Conservatives, they consider him to be deranged. Hell, Keith Olbermann is too crazy for his own people. This dude was so desperate for another job in media, he wrote a 5,000-page letter to executives at MSNBC begging them for a job. I'll work for free. Please, I need to be back on the air. I can't get enough attention on Twitter. I crave the notoriety. I'm lonely. I'm out of cucumbers because I'm too afraid to go to the grocery store without my mask. Please hire me. I'll give you free fellatio. Just give me a job, please. 5 years ago, Keith Olbermann announced that he was retiring from political commentary. At the time, he was hosting some online program called The Resistance. It was a show where he went into detail about the thousands of times women have rejected him. But he said he was retiring from political commentary because he had nothing left to say. Then he spent the next 5 years talking about politics. When Keith Olbermann announced his retirement, no one cared. It barely made a blip in the mainstream news cycle. Like I said, I don't know the terms of this deal with iHeartMedia. According to Keithy, the budget for this bullshit is huge. They are breaking the bank for this superstar. Now, I don't know if he's talking about breaking the bank financially, money-wise, or a lifetime supply of hand lotion. What I can tell you, this marriage between iHeartMedia and Keith Olbermann, it will not last. I give it 12 months and they'll be divorced. This dude is a fungus. He is a cancer to society. Like I told you guys before, most of these woke shitfucks in media, I don't think they're bad people. They've just sold their souls for money or the agenda. People like Shannon Sharpe, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, they don't really believe the propaganda they push. Stephen A. Smith is handed a script and he plays his role to perfection. He's an actor. As big of a failure as Bomani Jones is, I don't think he's a bad dude. He's just a guy taking advantage of his victim status. He knows he can't be fired because major media outlets are afraid of mythical racism. But there are a select few who I believe are pure evil. Joy Reid's one of them. Joy Reid is the devil incarnate. When she was born, the doctor had to surgically remove the horns. Keith Olbermann's another one. This guy is evil. He leaves a path of destruction everywhere he goes. The only positive thing about Keith Olbermann being given another platform, he's going to provide this channel plenty of content over the next year. But let me know what you think. After years of begging and pleading, iHeartMedia decides to give Keith Olbermann some woke welfare. Do you think anyone is going to listen to this show? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.